Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. Picture this, a 6-foot, 9-figure towers through the halls of NYU, carefully avoiding the spotlight while secretly shaping American politics. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Barron Trump, the most private yet influential member of America's first family. We'll explore his surprising campaign role, complex family dynamics, and what his classmates are really saying about him.
You know, what's really interesting is how different Barron's college experience is from his siblings. While Don Jr. and Ivanka were very public figures at Penn, Barron's taking a completely different approach at NYU.
Tell me more about that. How is he handling campus life?
Well, according to his classmates at NYU's Stern School of Business, he's actually been quite strategic about it. When asked about his political views, he flatly tells people he doesn't support any party.
That's fascinating, especially given his family's very public political stance.
Right? And here's what's really interesting. While he's maintaining this neutral stance publicly, behind the scenes, he played a crucial role in his father's 2024 campaign success.
Wait, what do you mean?
According to campaign sources, Barron was actually the mastermind behind getting his father on major podcasts like Joe Rogan's show. He understood how to reach younger voters in a way the traditional campaign team didn't.
That's pretty savvy for a college student.
You know what's even more interesting? Donald Trump himself acknowledged this, saying in a Fox News interview that Barron tells him about all the hot guys, meaning influential people he'd never heard of.
Let's back up a bit. Can you tell us about his early years? I mean, he wasn't always this behind-the-scenes strategist.
Well, he was raised primarily by Melania and his maternal grandparents. In fact, there's this fascinating detail about his upbringing. He and Melania often speak in Slovenian together.
Oh, really? How does his father feel about that?
According to Mary Jordan, who wrote The Art of Her Deal, Donald Trump has admitted it annoys him sometimes because he has no idea what they're saying.
That's quite telling about the family dynamics, isn't it?
Absolutely. And speaking of family dynamics, there's an interesting story behind his name. Donald Trump had been fascinated with the name Barron long before Barron was born.
Really? How so?
He'd actually been using John Barron as a pseudonym since 1980, and even wanted the main character in a TV series based on his real estate career to be named Barron.
That's wild. Let's talk about his education. He's at NYU now, right?
Yes, he's at the Stern School of Business. But his educational journey is interesting. He started at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in Manhattan, where tuition was over $64,000 a year.
And then he moved around quite a bit, didn't he?
Exactly. When his father first became president, he transferred to St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland, and then later to Oxbridge Academy in Florida.
How's he handling the transition to college life?
According to sources at NYU, he's actually adapting well. He's known for making friends easily, just like he did in high school.
But it can't be easy being in the spotlight, right?
Well, that's where Melania's influence comes in. She's always been extremely protective of him, consistently saying that children should be off limits when it comes to media coverage.
Has that affected his relationship with his father?
It's complex. While Donald Trump wasn't very involved in Barron's early years, he famously told Howard Stern that being a hands-on dad wasn't his style. Their relationship has evolved.
How so?
Well, now that Barron's older, he's become more involved in his father's world, particularly in business and politics. He's even been rumored to be involved with Trump-related cryptocurrency ventures.
That's quite a shift from his earlier years.
Definitely. And according to Melania's recent Mother's Day speech, she still sees him as having both qualities. A soft, beautiful heart, but also being a fighter.
Speaking of fighting, how does he handle the political atmosphere at NYU?
That's one of the most interesting aspects. Despite the campus having staged protests against his father, he's managed to maintain a low profile while still being effective behind the scenes.
It's almost like he's creating his own playbook, isn't it?
Exactly. Unlike his siblings, who are very public with their support, Barron's taking a more nuanced approach. He even declined an invitation to be a delegate at the Republican National Convention.
That's pretty remarkable for someone in his position.
And what's fascinating is that this approach seems to be working. His classmates report that he's well-liked and manages to avoid political confrontations while still maintaining his influence.
Let's talk about his future. There are already Barron 2044 stickers out there. What do you make of that?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. Despite these expectations, sources close to him say he's more focused on business than politics right now.
Really? Even with all his campaign involvement?
Yes, according to People magazine, he definitely wants to go out in the world and make money, but he's still young with more school ahead.
That's quite different from his siblings' paths.
It is. And with Ivanka and Jared stating they won't return to politics, some speculate Barron might eventually fill that advisory role in his father's administration.
How likely do you think that is?
Based on his current trajectory, he seems more likely to continue his behind-the-scenes approach, advising on strategy while maintaining his public neutrality.
It's fascinating how he's carved out this unique position for himself.
And what's particularly interesting is how he's managed to balance his father's very public world with his mother's emphasis on privacy.
Do you think that balance will hold as he gets older?
Well, given his current trajectory and his mother's influence, it seems likely he'll continue to maintain this careful balance between influence and privacy.
What about his personal life? There have been some rumors.
According to News Nation, there are reports that he has a girlfriend and maintains an active social life at NYU, but he's been very successful at keeping those details private.
That must take some effort in today's social media age.
Absolutely. He doesn't have any social media accounts, which is quite remarkable for someone his age.
And yet he understands social media well enough to advise on campaign strategy.
That's one of the most fascinating contradictions about him. He's deeply knowledgeable about digital culture while remaining personally disconnected from it.
Do you think we'll see more of him in the future?
Based on the patterns we've seen, he's likely to continue increasing his influence while maintaining his privacy. It's become his signature approach.
That's quite a skill at his age.
It really is. And it's worth noting that this approach has allowed him to be effective without becoming a target of the intense scrutiny his siblings face.
So what's next for him?
Well, he's focused on his studies at NYU for now, but his influence on his father's administration continues to grow behind the scenes.
It's amazing how much impact he's had while staying out of the spotlight.
And that might be his greatest achievement, wielding influence without becoming consumed by the public eye.
Do you think other political families might learn from his approach?
It's certainly a model for how to maintain privacy while still being effective in today's political landscape.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Co-Pilot Podcasts. Barron Trump might be the most private member of his famous family, but his influence might just be the most fascinating.
And remember, sometimes the most powerful moves in politics are the ones you don't see.